Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right. So, last trade that we took was the AUD CAD trade. Was a loss. Let's see if today is better. Right now, generating the algorithm, and this is the TET Capital report. Let me quickly have a look at it and then get back to you guys with the trades that I see today. So, guys, first thing that I noticed today is the market is today is just not my market, to be fair. Now, I know a lot of people love trending markets like that when the market is just pushing in one direction. They like to trade that. For me, I don't really like it. I like to see liquidations, some reversals. I like to see some consolidation, some liquidity being printed on both sides of the markets, then liquidations and all that. You can see that market is very trendy right now for most of the instruments. And therefore, the only trade that I was capable of seeing today is this AUD NZD trade. So for AUD NZD, what are we going to be doing? We are going to be buy stopping this through to the upside into this trend line right there through to the upside. So as soon as the market makes it up into there, taps this area, I'm going to be in and then hope for the market to go up and liquidate this trend line through to the upside right there. Guys, I'm not going to waste much of your time. This trade was never triggered in. It just went through to the downside infinitely from there all the way down. And therefore, I was never triggered in. I don't want to waste a lot of your time. Let's move on towards 7 March. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right. So today is the 7th of March. Already found my trade for the day, which is silver. So I already ran the algorithm. I already generated the TET Capital report. And the trade that I found today is this silver trade through to the downside. I'm going to explain this trade basically. I'm going to explain the huge stop loss, the TP, the investor horizon, the swing horizon, so the bias for this instrument as well. Now, the main thing that I'm focusing on is, of course, the TET Capital report right here. And the main thing that I'm focusing on the TET Capital report is the difference between the 6th of March and the 7th of March. So what happened between those 2 days? And you can see that on the 6th of March, we had bearishness from the investor horizon and we had bullishness from the swing horizon. Now, yesterday, on the 7th of March, that bearishness remains on the investor horizon. However, the bullishness on the swing horizon just ended. We turned neutral on the swing horizon. So that is the main thing for me, that the swing horizon went from bullish to neutral, which means the bullishness just ended on a swing horizon on a micro time frame. And from a macro perspective, that bearishness will now resume. So imagine the market going down, retracing, going down, retracing, going down, retracing. The macro is going down, of course, and then the swing horizon retraced a little bit. That bullishness just ended. So that retracement just ended, and now we can continue the bearishness through to the downside. This is the way that I'm seeing silver. Now let's explain this on the charts, of course, and see if we get a confirmation from the charts about what the TET Capital report is saying right here. So as I look at the 6 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, and see what the swing horizon is offering, mainly right here, what I can see on the 6 hours, because it's very clear on this time frame, that we just pushed through to the downside right here. Let me remove this. We just pushed through to the downside right here. 1 drive, 2 drives, 3 drives through to the downside. Into what? Into this huge support line right here, and into this huge support line right there. So right here, with every drive, I always say it in every video on this channel, with every drive through to the downside, a lot of sellers enter the markets. So right here, we had this drive, lots of sellers entered. Then we had this drive through to the downside, lots of sellers entered, believing that the market is going to right now break these areas and continue going through to the downside. Now, as a result of 3 drives, I usually expect the market to reverse and take out the high of that 3 drives. So as you can see, we had bullishness initiated right here as soon as that 3 drives ended and the market started retracing, which was the swing horizon bullishness. And that bullishness just ended right there. So this is why the swing horizon went from bullish to neutral right now. So we just ended that bullishness. We just ended that retracement through to the upside. And right now the bearishness gets to be resumed. Now let's check the bearishness on the investor horizon right here. So on the investor horizon, what can we see? We can see that silver right there was pushing through to the upside. Look at this, a huge push through to the upside. We created these bottoms. So lots of buyers were, let this load, lots of buyers entered right here. lots of buyers entered as price was pushing through to the upside and creating this trend line right there through to the upside. So buyers right here, let me draw it. Buyers, buyers, and buyers through to the upside. And then the market, as it was pushing through to the upside, of course, it was breaking levels. So breaking this level right here, breaking this resistance line right there through to the upside, tapping into the $33 psychological level right there. So when we were breaking these levels through to the upside, also lots of buyers were entering. Breakout buyers right here, break to the upside. Buyers. So from the investor horizon, this is a buyer's trap. This is a buyer's accumulation market. This market will go down from the investor horizon. So right now that the swing horizon, which was this push through to the upside, just ended, we expect the investor horizon to resume its movement and go down and take out these buyers through to the downside right now. So that's the expectation for silver. Therefore, I'm going to be entering a trade for silver right there. Okay, we need to remove the shit. 1 second. Okay, so right now for silver, we're just pushing through to the downside right now. Now there's some things that of course I'm aware of, and therefore that's why I have a huge stop loss right here. Now first of all, what I'm aware of is the fact that the market just created this huge resistance area right here, just below the $33 area right there. You can see that also you have some tops right here. So we just created some huge resistance lines with that $33 or actually 32,750 almost, we can say, yes, right here, 750. So we created a huge resistance line right here. Therefore, a lot of sellers exist in this price. And therefore, I don't want to be selling with those sellers. And therefore, this is why I have a huge stop loss. So what I can see the market doing, I can see the market pushing into this resistance line right here, accumulating some more buyers to enter. Because as you can see, price was pushing through to the upside, creating lots of areas through to the downside, lots of buy areas through to the downside. For example, this area right here, we can draw a trend line through to the upside. So there's a lot of buyers in this market, and therefore it's a buyer's accumulation market. But right now, since we have this huge resistance line, I'm aware that the market can break this resistance line right there, accumulate some more buyers right there, and then melt down right there. And therefore, this is what I'm currently looking at. Now, of course, you can see the $33 psychological level right here carries also some tops right there. So of course you might think, Roy, what if the market makes it up into these tops right there, accumulates those buyers, and then starts going down from there? Well, in that case, I will lose that trade and I will look for another entry. That's totally fine. So I don't believe that I need to have such a an even bigger stop loss right there. So that's good enough for me. Accumulate those buyers, that's it, the ones that exist right there. So break through to the upside and then go down. My stop loss would be willing to tolerate that. So that's it for that silver trade. Of course, I will be managing this trade a little bit conservatively because if the market starts going down right now, it can always come back and take out these buyers. You can see the risk that I'm taking is that it can accumulate these buyers and then continue to accumulate these buyers. And therefore, I'm going to manage it conservatively. As soon as we break this area right here through to the downside, this 32,250 area, as soon as we come here, almost, I'm going to take my first partial right there to protect myself right here, and then see how the rest goes, and if the market comes all the way down into this liquidity right there, into the 31,500 and 31 right there. So let's see if the market does that. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right. Today is 10th March, and this is going to be an extension of the Friday 9 March, not 9 March, but Friday video. Reason for that is I haven't found any trades for today, and therefore I'm just going to be waiting for this silver trade to tell me where it wants to go. I can see the market basically, look, we're creating a lot of liquidity through to the upside. We created this area, 1, 2, 3 taps right here of these highs. We can also create a trend line between them through to the downside. Lots of liquidity is being created to the upside. So I can see the market possibly push into it. I'm going to be patient and see how this plays out and see if the market wants to go down or not for silver. So that's it. Today, nothing to do. Just basically being patient and waiting for this trade to end and then announcing the results. That's it. So nothing to do today. Let's see how that goes. So guys, the second loss on that YouTube channel, that cost me, so the AUD CAD trade that I lost in the previous video cost me $2,000. This trade cost me $253.20, and therefore barely, it's a break-even trade basically. It's just a small loss, break-even trade. Now here's the thing, guys. For the AUD CAD trade, when I lost it, I went ahead and I explained to you the technical, the psychological perspective. I explained why did I take that loss and what I could have done better. For this silver trade, this is an amazing trade. And if that trade is offered to me 100 times in a row, I will take it 100 times in a row. Statistically, that trade is great. According to my data and statistics, that trade is great. The probability of that losing is very low. However, that happened because even the lower probability can happen sometimes. The only thing that I could have done better for that specific trade is to trail my SL to BE as soon as we created that 3 drives pattern to the downside right here. 1, 2, and 3, because I saw it. I was here at almost 8 a.m. right there on 11 March, and I saw the market just created a 3 drives pattern and it's reversing through to the upside. I just looked at it straight in the eyes and I did nothing. I was like, okay, fuck it. If I lose, I lose. So the only thing that I could have done better is as soon as that 3 drives was offered right there into that support line, as you can see here, I could have trailed my SL to BE and therefore accumulating a win as opposed to a small loss. And therefore, that's the only thing that I could have done better. Otherwise, that trade is amazing. Statistically, according to my data, it's amazing. And therefore, nothing wrong here, just a small loss. I'll see you guys in the next video. That's it.